Good evening, everybody. This is gonna be our annual town meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 at 6:30 PM. And we are at the Forestville Town Hall. Before we start on the agenda, I just want to let everybody know, because this is our annual meeting of electoral town of official voters, whoever landowners or not, will be approving last year's minutes. Please state your name and whether or not you are a township elector. If you are not sure, just ask, we'll let you know. Okay? Roll call.
Kevin Gillett,
Here.
David Samuels,
Here.
Lauren Eager,
Here.
Dina Schmidt, here, Larry Huber,
Here.
Teresa Clahach, here, Joanne Bungle, here, Bill Bungle,
Here.
Josh Jaros,
Josh.
Gars,
Here.
Aaron Strohstein, here, Julianne Beam, here, Tony Swanson, here, Andrew Regal,
Here.
Robert Sager, Christine Reed, Dan Gillett, here, and Jason Clahach.
Here. All right. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Verification of public notice.
Our town meeting's notice was posted on our county website, and then our town's bulletin board and in the clerk's office.
All right. Item number 4, clerk's minutes from April 15th, 2025 annual meeting. I think you all have a copy when you were able to get one when you came in. I do need a motion to accept, if everybody had an opportunity to look at all that, so. And it can come from anybody.
I make a motion to accept the first annual report of the county.
One second. I will second. All right, I have a motion from Jason Quahog to accept the meeting minutes from April 15th, 2025, and a second from David. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Annual report review by clerk.
Here's our annual report for 2025. For total town revenues, we had $976,099.84. And then for total expenditures, we had $913,603.08. The balance of our accounts is in the middle of the back, the second page. You can see from January 1st, what our balance was compared to the end of the year of December. So, then you can just see the breakdown of what we have in our money market accounts and our cemetery accounts. That's, I think, if you have any questions about our annual report.
Hearing none, we will look for a motion to accept this.
I'll make a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion by Jan Gillett to accept the financial report and a second by Larry Hubert. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. All right. Chairman comments, if my voice can hold up. So it's been a busy year. Here are some of the things that this town board has worked on and we're able to get done for you. Road maintenance news. We had quite a few storms that needed plowing this winter. It was one of the worst ones ever. So we don't know yet if we will have enough money to accomplish any major road projects this year. Please continue to keep your ditches and culverts clear so the water can keep flowing freely. Obviously, this last rain, we've had quite a few problems with that whole type of a thing. Last fall, we finished the rebuilding of East Center Road from County S to North Carnet, which was partially paid for by a LRIP grant from the state. The town of Nassawampie is improving Idlewild Road this year, and we are partnering with their project to have our half-mile portion of Idlewild included as well. That one is going to be done with a grant from the state of 90%, and then the township will have to pay the other 10%. We applied and received a 90% funding grant from Wisconsin Agricultural Road Improvement Program, which is the exact same program that Idlewild is getting done on as well. Okay, but most of it's in a different township. The program to replace is about 6 miles of town road that includes a good section of Mill Road and parts of Elm Road. This project will actually begin in 2027. We weren't able to get it done. We were just notified that we got it. But you're not able to get the engineering and the permits and everything else done in time, so it's going to be a next year project. We're gonna move on to the fire department. The fire department chief, Mr. Olson, has reported that the fire department is running very well and with adequate personnel. Thank you to our firefighters, our EMTs, and our EMRs, and all who support their picnics. This year picnic is on July 25th with a Christmas in July theme. We have a group continuing the efforts to improve the park. The new nonprofit corporation has been formed. It is called the Friends of Robert Bowman Memorial Park. With the board of directors separate from the town board, they are now able to accept tax deductible charitable donations, even online donations. So for this year, we will be building a new park bathroom. We received some very generous grants and donations that are covering the full cost of the bathrooms. We are continuing to look for grants and donations. Our next goals are to install new playground equipment and a pickleball court. I want to say thank you to all who have helped with this, but especially Aaron Frisch and the volunteer board who continue to put in hours of time planning the project, seeking grants, and coming up with fundraising ideas. The park improvements are being funded 100% by donations, and neither the town nor the Friends board members will be receiving any compensation for administrative costs. Everyone is volunteering their time for this project. Next item, broadband update. This one is going to be a little bit vague. We are waiting to hear back from the state on the fundraising timeline so we can move forward with our project. This could be another year or so before this thing is actually shovels in the ground, is basically where we're at, to be honest. Next item, Forestville Zoning Commission is planning on developing our own comprehensive plan for our township. We do not currently have one. And I think as we get into this, Jan is on the zoning committee for our town. When we get into the public comment, she'll kind of explain what a comprehensive plan actually is. As a reminder for the ash trees that have all died, which is sad in itself. It is the landowner's responsibility to remove them from the right of way. If they are in the right of way and you receive a letter from the town, you have 30 days to remove them. If they are not removed, the town will have it done for you and you will be billed on your on your tax bill when you get it, okay? So please, everybody, when that happens, and if it's dry enough, make it go away. If it's in the roadway, we are responsible to get it out of the roadway for safety purposes. But basically, it just goes back into the ditch or on the edge of the property line, just so you know how that works. Item number 7, just to let everyone know, we have said several times in the past year, a full town property assessment within 10% of the full property value is mandated every 5 years under Wisconsin state statute. We have contracted with Associated Appraisal Consultants to do the assessment this year. We pay them $11,500 each year to maintain the assessed records. The assessed cost for the reevaluation is another $60,000 on top of that. So by the time we're all done, this year's cost to them is gonna be about $61,500, just to give you guys an idea. Yes, sorry, 71,500, so it's quite a bit of change. So you will see them around doing the work this year. Although most property owners will see their assessed values increase, our town budget will not increase at all from this assessment. You may, however, see higher payouts to some of the schools and the fire departments based off of the levies for your taxes in 27. In closing, it has been an honor to serve all of you as your chairman for this past year, and I look forward to serving you for all of this term. Thank you for your confidence in me. Next, we have our citizens' input and questions. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, this is your chance to let the board know. No decisions can be made at this meeting for new or old business, but the board can take into consideration anything said. If I feel it is appropriate, I can take an advisory vote of the electors, which is everybody in this room, on any topic. We can start from the tables over here and then we can go clockwise around. So we are now on citizens' input and questions. Table number 1, nothing from you guys? Okay. Table 2? Table 3?
Yeah, I got something. I was looking at your wage structure. You sent us some back when I was on the board. We set the wage structure for your people that would that would help out. You know, I think we said it was $15 an hour. I'm wondering if you guys want to consider maybe upping that to $20 an hour, kind of be congruent with Brussels and Hasselhoff and the rest of them. This way, if you have say for example, your board members, if you have some work you have to do, you know, for the town, or if you want someone to do some work for the town, it would be the higher wage scale. I think it's just a little bit more congruent with what everybody else is starting to, you know, actually charge or receive, you know, for the services. So, just something to consider, I think, going forward.
That actually, we have something on our agenda for the monthly meeting after this about the equipment usage and wage and so.
Okay, yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that later tonight.
Sure. Thank you.
So with that being said, Jason, in the comment of that, just with how everything is in today's environment, you can't really get anybody to do anything for $15 an hour. I mean, your high school kids are getting paid that just to go to the gas station. I'm assuming that would be our poll workers as well, correct? Across the board is how that would be. I think I would like to see what the rest of the township people feel about that. If you guys think that would be a good thing to do or not a good thing to do. Based off of Jason, so I'm gonna take a vote on it.
One question though, do we know what I mean, we know what we pay our poll workers, do hourly wage?
The 15.
Yeah,
That's 15, that's right, 15,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
And the discussion for the meeting after was more for equipment costs and reimbursement, but this is part of that, so.
Right, but
No, it's a reasonable thing.
we have our electors here, this would be a good time to actually bring that up, because it, it's our money, all of us, right? And it's hard to find people to do anything, to be honest with you. So,
And Joanne, you were a poll worker for quite a few years, so.
For the hours that you spend at the polls, and sometimes it isn't very busy and other times it's quite busy. So I believe that $20 would be out of line.
now this isn't gonna change any policy here,
No,
but I'm gonna ask for a vote so that the board has an idea how the community feels about that. So I would ask for a show of hands of in favor of raising that to the $20. All in favor, would you please raise your hand? Okay, not in favor? All right, that is basically the majority of people, just so the board knows that if they would move forward with that, how the electors feel. Thank you. Okay, we are to Jan.
you have anything else, Jason?
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I just wanted to elaborate, because we made a comment about a heavily comprehensive plan. So a number of most municipalities do have comprehensive plans. Right now, our township doesn't have one. We kind of fall under the umbrella of the York County Comprehensive Plan, but it's not necessarily specific to our township. So the purpose of this is kind of a 10-year mission statement or plan, right? There's two parts to a comprehensive plan. One is just information and details about how we are now, like census data, what are the ages of people who live here, what kind of businesses are here, how many employees do those businesses have, how much is farm, how much is, residential, where do kids go to school, geographic information, how much wetland do we have, how many streams, do we have waterfront, things like that. So it's collecting all this data, and then it's looking at where do we want to be 10 years from now? Do we want to look exactly like we are now? Do we want to attract more long-term residents? Do we want to attract more short-term or vacation, retirees? Do we want more tourism? Do we want less tourism? Do we want more recreational facilities, or are we fine where we are? But trying to have some sort of a plan, because sometimes things come if people make a zoning appeal to the county that they want to change their zoning. One of the questions on there is, how does this fit in your comprehensive plan? If the county is changing, for example, they made some modifications, so they're working on them for campers and drying, but a few different things like that. And it asks us, how do these changes fit in your comprehensive plan? Our town doesn't really have one. So we just kind of give the board some sort of direction, even as they're setting policies and ordinances, to have, to kind of know what's the vision for the town board going forward. There are companies that do this and they charge a lot of money, it could be thousands of dollars, but I know some townships do it themselves. And I feel like I could spearhead that, I need help, but I could get it done myself, especially with AI, you can feed data in, and you can come up with pretty charts and put the data into something that you're not really, it wouldn't be quite as difficult or as cumbersome as it might have been 10 years ago. We try and manually create this, so that's one of the things I would like to do. I appreciate help, so if anybody wants to help out with that, let the town do it. And the other thing that I'll comment on, because I am on the board for the park, as Kevin said, we've secured all of the funding. Some of it is in grants that we don't quite have in our pocket yet, but to cover the cost of bathrooms. So there will be, the plan is there's going to be a bathroom, a detached separate bathroom between here and the playground now, just outside the building, that will be open basically 24 hours. So if there are people from the playground, there's people at the ballpark, they don't have to come into the town hall, or the town hall doesn't have to be open. People can use, and that'll make the park way more usable. I know as a parent, having bathrooms available. So it'll be a men's room and a women's room. The women's room will have installs, the men's room will have a urinal install, so it'll be multi-use, bathrooms, especially with the ball games. I think that would be helpful. So that's kind of the first phase is having, or the second phase, first phase was connecting to the trail. So once the bathrooms are done, then we'll focus our fundraising, or actually starting to focus our fundraising on pickleball courts and playground. Just a trend down the plan, but we'll be helping fundraisers and, you know, I think we'd like to get some trees planted along the trail and stuff. So again, looking for volunteers, but now as a charitable organization, it'll be easier, I think, to maybe that'll open up a few more grants and donations from individuals and stuff. So that's my opinion.
I have a question. With regard to the Friends of Waterfall Memorial Park. You're accepting donations, and it said on a flyer I got on election day that you had a 501c3 determination from the IRS.
We don't have our determination back from the IRS yet. We've been approved from the state.
Correct.
With the IRS, because they've sent us some updates and we got the T's and crossed and I's, just they want us to rewrite some stuff, but not really, but anyway, so it looks like the IRS is coming, but the IRS determination of 501c3 can take up to a year or more sometimes, but everything is retroactive. So any donations received ever since we formed the business will be considered tax deductible, even though we don't have that federal paper yet, but we are a nonprofit. Like I said, and the state approved our charitable organization status.
And I'm assuming that's also part of the bylaws of the organization.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are those available? The bylaws?
Oh, the bylaws have been established and signed, that all had to be in place before we applied for a number of things. So there are bylaws
Okay.
for the organization. I don't know, I mean, the friends, we didn't decide not to set up a website at this point. We've got a Facebook page. I don't know where to post that, but I mean, the bylaws are registered with the state and the federal, so I guess, I don't know that we need to post bylaws somewhere, but.
No.
But if they are available, if anybody wanted to see them, or, because I think that was also, we had to have dissolution things in there, so our goal with forming this Friends of the Park, number one was to make it easier for fundraising, but number two is to have some continuancy for maintaining the park, so that, once all the funds are raised, there might be money left over, well, that will be used, let's say a swing breaks or a, pickleball net needs to be replaced or things like that. There are funds set aside to do that, so we don't have to come back to the town, because I don't wanna give this to the town and now the town has to maintain everything, or, something.
And again, that's the reason for the asking the question.
Okay,
I would like to see the bylaws just to be sure,
Yeah.
there is maintenance, continual possible maintenance.
yeah,
Yes, like our sign outside now has been in need of paint for a couple of years. So that's just my.
yes, yeah, it's to maintain that also, and that was part of our memorandum of understanding with the town, that we would be in charge of maintenance costs. But if there's like the electrical bill to keep the lights on in the bathroom, that's part of the town, kind of that agreement that they have there. And in the bylaws, it does state that should the Friends ever dissolve, any money left in there would probably go back, would either go back to the town unless there was another group that wanted to take over or form their own corporation park. But otherwise, the money would come back.
Appreciate that explanation.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jan? Okay,
Yeah, I have basically a brief question related to my comments on the last meeting, and that's for the board to check. If I look at the GIS map for the Sleepy Hollow subdivision, then Sherry Lane Road as a town road extends up to the intersection of Ichabod and Sleepy Hollow. So my question is basically if you could verify if that is indeed a town road. And this goes back to my concern of plowing, especially of course in the winter. And you might remember last month I made the comments at this very bad snowstorm that it was a matter of life and death. Actually, shortly after the meeting, a lady in our subdivision was found dead at the bottom of her stairs to her house, and I don't think it could have been prevented by snow plowing. But again, it brings home the point how important it is that plowing occurs, when it's needed. Because if ambulances cannot get, or if the fire department cannot get the house when needed. If somebody gets a heart attack, then snow plowing, this might cost half an hour to get to the location. Might be just the difference of life and death. So if you could check in if that's indeed a town road up to the intersection of Ichabod and Sleepy Hollow, then I think that should be cleared up, that fact, so that the people who live there know what the demarcation is, because for her responsibility and the town. So I would appreciate if you could double check that. Thank you.
I am gonna comment on this because we have two former board members that are here, and I'm gonna ask this question. Because from my understanding, we stop where the blacktop stops, where basically the NFP trail is, right?
That was my understanding.
That's how the map shows for the state.
Right.
Jason, were you under the same impression, which
Yeah.
then Roy was under the same impression? So we have maps from the state of every road that is owned as far as the town is concerned. And that's why we don't even own that little piece of the Anapee Trail. We stop right at that. And that's where the blacktop ends, right there. And that is part of the. I know the DNR owns the trail, but nothing beyond that point. And that's where that gentleman has his sign there, which I was just there the other day, and it says. Absolutely nobody, whatever. And we agree with you 100%. There is not one person on this board that is not for what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get there. You're gonna have to do it legally. And go after him in order to give it up or make an association or feel that he turns it over. I'm just telling you, as far as the town is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, we have zero to say about a private road. Once it's private, that's it. There's nothing there. So,
Thanks for the response. Yeah, no, what it is, it says private road, and if the GIS map is correct, that sign is not even on the right place there, but that's an.
I will check. I will call the county and we will check.
Another story, I would appreciate that, and on the GIS map, it's an easement. We had some legal advice as well. And an easement and a private road, like he handles it like it's his private driveway, which is legally totally different. I mean, your private driveway, and most of us probably have one. You can, say to anybody, you cannot allow. This subdivision serves many private driveways. And the road, and legally, as far as I know, is he cannot say to anybody, you cannot come in here, like family, friends, or visiting. I mean, that would be crazy. Who would buy a house on a road that cannot be accessed by any family? But anyhow, I appreciate the response. I just.
I'll check into it for you.
I can clarify it on the legal part of it. Thank you.
The next lady, Christine, anything for you?
No,
All right, front table.
I just wanted to join, I just wanted to explain a little bit about before when they wanted the comprehensive plans for all the different townships and things. I was on one of the committees that was looking into that. And back then, there was only one company that was doing that, and as Jan said, it still is very expensive to have it done by a company. And at that point, there weren't quite what I'm trying to say is the plan that the county had was a little bit closer to what we were looking for. So that's why we just went with the county plan at that point. Whereas now, if we have somebody who's willing to do our own, and with all the changes that the county made with theirs, it probably is a much better idea to go with our own.
If I can throw one thing up there, so WICA, right, the Wisconsin Housing and Urban Development, where they have a number of grants and things that they give out to businesses or homeowners to try and improve properties, like the former Maplewood, right, that some of those things would get improved. But one of the contingencies that you need to have is that the municipality has to have its own comprehensive plan that was updated in the past few years. Or something like that. So there are things like that where, as our township, if someone had wanted to apply for a grant, they wouldn't qualify because our town doesn't have it, and that's one of the rules of WICA. So I think there might be other things out there too that could.
And one other question I had now, with the bathroom outside, the outdoor bathroom. Who's gonna be responsible for cleaning that? Cause I'm sure that after ball games and. Most people are very respectable, but then there's always one or two that aren't.
We have a memorandum of understanding with the ball
Okay,
people, the field people, right? And we will add that into, we'll update the memorandum of understanding is what will take place.
okay,
And that will be part of that. Now, that doesn't mean they're gonna have to clean it every single time.
Right.
When there's not a game, right? If there's an event or something here and then those people would have to be responsible for it. And if not, at that point, we will take care of it ourselves. In the design of there's gonna be some drains and things which should make it fairly easy to clean if it's. Just needs to be holes down. We would be able to do such a thing and
thank you.
minimize some of
I
that.
mean, just baseball cleats,
Right.
carrying sand or mud, that happens to start raining during a game,
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
a little bit, well, not only chew it up, I mean.
It's
Carry
not just
mud in,
baseball.
like,
Right.
sand.
It's federal.
There you go.
It's just not baseball cleats.
And that's a good idea. I'm glad you guys kind of brought that up, but maybe a guy puts some kind of like a little metal gate where some of that ground can be trapped in. You could just pick it up and sweep it away and then put it back down. Not every single time. That might be a once a year type thing. I didn't even really give that consideration or thought, You know what I'm talking about, right? Like a little trap. So that's, thank you.
But yeah, if they are open 24/7 for use, which is good.
Right.
They will need to be cleaned by some.
Sure,
So there
sure.
will be a service or somebody that is expected to clean them on a weekly basis, so.
Like,
We'll have to.
We'll have to look into some of those things and whatnot, but. I think most people will be respectful. I mean, you can kind of see how the grounds are kept already. For the most part, everybody takes care of their stuff. As long as the fireworks don't drop all over the roof, they're usually gonna make sure that.
Well, yeah.
Anything else? How about for you, sir? All right,
I had something quick, just as long as everybody's here, just to talk about the come and meet a board member. I got it in the Peninsula Pulse and it's on the website here. So every month on the third Wednesday of the month, 9 AM and then alternating 3 PM, just trying to get morning or afternoon folks. I set up some coffee. I wasn't saying before, but I'm bringing treats, so whatever. So 9 till 10, and then the next month, 3 till 4. It's generally gonna be the third Wednesday of the month. I've been doing it since January. You people have showed up, but I get lonely, so. No, but if you have, it could be just like this, just an informal, friendly questioning or criticisms too, whatever. Criticisms, questions, just chat, coffee and donuts or whatever. So, if you check the website, for any changes, but generally it is the third Wednesday of the month. Alternating 9 till 10 AM and 3 to 4 PM. So,
Just add on that, visit the website. The town
Yeah.
has a pretty set up a pretty decent website, so visit the website for
a lot of information on there.
updates from delayed garbage. Whether delayed, whether it's delayed a week or whatever, or a couple days.
You confused me on that garbage pickup.
That one,
Yes.
that one day, but they confused me too. So you weren't going on.
They'll typically put a banner that will run across here on the town's website. It's now spring, I realize that's a snow picture.
Winter hasn't left go yet.
Never too sure.
You never know.
And you were talking about the calendar. These dates are upcoming items, but then right here, you can go, it takes you to the calendar page and it'll have items here. Here's that.
My board, meet the board.
Board meeting thing, and this is today. So there is a lot out here. And we also have, a number of digital assets, if you will, applications for some permits, private permits, mineral permits. There's a plethora of things that are available. What is this guy? This little thing says, here, go to your, oh, come on, you're supposed to open. Yeah, well, obviously it's not going to. I don't know, yeah,
It'll work for everybody else, just won't work for Larry, so.
so, yeah, it's working. Sometimes, you can report a problem, you can, do various things. And this then takes you into our digital assets page. So, there's a lot of things available in here, making payments, renting the town hall, reserving that, those sorts of things. So if you're just looking at, things like the agenda meeting and minutes, you click here and it will break it down, town board, and by the various areas. So down here somewhere, you'll find special notices. Where is this one here? Annual town meeting is now, the agenda can be found here. You can get the packet, which is the financial report and that type of thing. So just going to the, agendas and minutes, you can go back and pick up almost everything that is out there. So,
Just, or you can sign up for email updates or like agenda.
Right.
To your personal email.
right, we have approximately 35 people that receive updates. Every time we put out a new agenda or post a new meeting, that type of thing. So just want to make sure you're aware of that. It's available, that it works, most of the time. But it's like every other, webpage type of thing. Oh,
Well, thank you.
now, where did my,
Anything else?
oh, here's the meeting, okay, all right. It's still there.
So we could take a vote if David would have fish fry on Friday and old fashions. I bet he could get a lot of people in here. Should we vote on that?
It'll have to be a Wednesday. See, I'm not wedded to Wednesdays. Yeah.
Or calling it fish.
All right, so if there's no more other citizen input or questions, we'll go on to the next item. Any other business to be transacted? Teresa, you got anything? Any of the board members? All right, we're gonna set the next annual meeting will be April 20th, 2027 at 6:30 PM.
I make a motion to adjourn this annual meeting.
Second.
All right, I have a motion for adjournment from Lauren and a second from David. Meeting is now adjourned.